Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dr. Pooja Johari, your biochemistry educator, and today we will be discussing a quick review on vitamins because vitamins itself is a very important topic from examination point of view. There have been so many questions which have been asked on vitamins. So I have made my video basically on the deficiency manifestations and the toxicity of the vitamins because functions I will be teaching you in detail in my other videos. So let's start up with the discussion. Now all of you are familiar with this that vitamins are of two main types, isn't it? They are fat soluble as well as water soluble. So it is clear from the word itself, the vitamins which are soluble in water, they are water soluble. Example is vitamin B and C. And the most important function of these vitamin B and C are they are acting as coenzymes for most of the reactions in the body. And if we talk about fat soluble vitamins, it is clear from the word itself, vitamins which are insoluble in water or they are soluble in non-polar solvents. Example is A, D, E and K. So basically what you have to remember in this is you should know the active forms of the vitamins plus the functions of the vitamins and obviously the deficiency manifestations. Now in my current video, I will be just focusing on the active forms of these vitamins. Along with active forms, I will be discussing the deficiency manifestations. And the most important point is hypervitaminosis, which I will be discussing in my video today. Hyper mane zyada. If we, because there is always a recommended RDA for every vitamin. But if we increase the dosage, it becomes hypervitaminosis. So always remember, hyper is also dangerous, hypo is also dangerous. So we should always take the vitamin as per their recommended dietary allowance, right? So first of all, we are going to take vitamin A. Now all of you know that this vitamin A plays a very important role in vision, growth and reproduction. So its deficiency manifestations are mainly associated with the vision. So if we look at the, as I told you that we will be sticking only to the active form, deficiency and toxicity. So if you look at the active forms, you can see retinol is there. It is an active form, retinol, retinoic acid. These are the three interconvertible active forms of vitamin A. If we look at the deficiency manifestations, since it plays a very important role in vision, growth and reproduction, deficiency of it leads to night blindness, conjunctival xerosis, and definitely if it leads to xerophthalmia, there is formation of bite spots in the eye and it leads to corneal xerosis also. Another function of vitamin A is keratomalacia. Another function is growth and reproduction. So deficiency will lead to keratomalacia, epithelial metaplasia also. Then follicular hyperkeratosis is there. Squamous metaplasia is there. And then loss of taste sensation. These are the deficiency manifestations of vitamin A. Then we come over to the most important part, hypervitaminosis. It leads to pseudotumor cerebri, exfoliate dermatitis. There is enlargement of the liver, increased concentration of the lipids. There is a decrease in cognition, and in pregnancy, it can lead to this. And it finally leads to cirrhosis. So, hypervitaminosis is very dangerous in vitamin A. And the most effective organelle in vitamin A toxicity are the lysosomes. Moving on to the second vitamin, vitamin D. Now see, vitamin D is also known as sunshine vitamin. Why it is known as a sunshine vitamin? Because it is synthesized the sun rays and then the other reactions takes place in the liver and the kidney. Right? Then what is the active form? It is 125 dihydroxycholecalciferol and it is also known as calcitriol. And what are the deficiency manifestations of this? It leads to rickets in children, osteomalacia in adults. And then what is hypervitaminosis of vitamin D? It leads to contraction of the blood vessels. It always elevates the BP, and it leads to calcinosis, because you know vitamin D has a very, very important role to play with calcium and phosphate metabolism. Then vitamin E. This vitamin E is always, it is known as vitamin in search of a disease. So as such, no specific disease is caused by vitamin E, but the main role is it acts as an antioxidant. So obviously if it is absent from the diet, it will lead to degeneration of the axons, it will lead to hemolytic anemia, there will be peripheral neuropathy, there will be decreased position and vibration sense. This is the only, you know, कहने को we can say that the only function is antioxidant, but you know what the role of an antioxidant is in the body. It plays a very, very important role in termination of the free radicals. By terminating, they don't let the free radicals to propagate in the body. Nystagmus, then spinocerebellar ataxia, these are the deficiency symptoms of vitamin E. And again, hypervitaminosis, if we see, it leads to reduced platelet aggregation, and it sometimes interfere with the functions of vitamin K also. And if you look at the active form of vitamin E is tocopherol. Then vitamin K. Vitamin K, K stands for coagulation also. And always remember, this vitamin K has 3 forms. And out of these 3 forms, menadione is considered to be water soluble. This is the third form, which is the only water soluble form. Another interesting feature about vitamin K is that out of all the fat soluble vitamins, vitamin K is the only vitamin acting as a coenzyme. Functions I will be discussing of vitamin K in detail in my separate video. Right? So obviously, function is it plays a very important role in the clotting factors. So deficiency is bleeding, and there is elevated bleeding time and prothrombin time. And if we look at the toxicity, hemolysis, hyperbilirubinemia, connectrus, and brain damage takes place. Right? So this was just a quick review of the fat soluble vitamins, their deficiency manifestations, and the toxic effects of these. In my next video, I will be discussing the same pattern for the water soluble vitamins. Thank you so much. Have a great day.